G'day guys, my name is CJ. Cheap, budget, true wireless earbuds are absolutely everywhere. Budget wireless earbuds with good noise cancelling? Well, that's a little less common, but that's exactly what these are. These are the Padmate Pamu Quiet and Quiet Mini earbuds, and they're an excellent set of budget noise cancelling earbuds. Let's take a look. Active noise cancelling in headphones used to be this mythical holy grail feature that everyone needed back in the day when we were free to roam and fly. Made even more mainstream thanks to things like the Bose QC35s and Sony's 1000 XM3s. Now, but obviously with these guys, you had the trade-off of size to get that sweet noise cancelling, and it's only recently that ANC has become a feature in smaller, truly wireless earbud form factor, thanks in no small part to Apple and the AirPods Pros. In fact, I love mine, and I still think they're some of the best headphones I own right now. But the problem is they do come at a cost. These guys cost up to 300 Australian dollars, and the Sony Wireless 1000 XM3s also around that price. So imagine my skepticism when given a set of products that promise a similar feature set at almost half the price or less. But that's exactly what these guys at Padmate are promising. These two are really two excellent options for those wanting true wireless headphones with ANC that really don't break the bank. So we're going to first start talking about its design. Both come in plastic charging cases that use USB-C for wired charging, and to my surprise, both also support Qi wireless charging, and even in the cheaper mini version too. That's kind of crazy considering you have to fork out extra cash just to have a wireless charging case with the standard Apple AirPods. And sure, the feel of both cases is quite light and plasticky, but when you're working with a budget, compromises are going to be made. Now the Mini's rounded squircle case in particular doesn't do much to boost my confidence. Now even though there's magnets holding the lid closed, the lid really does feel like a simple flick is going to knock it off. Then the bigger Pamu Quiet, on the other hand, has a really unique pocket watch type design with a little button on top. Now it also comes with a strap, you can use it to attach to bags and whatnot, so that's pretty useful. And the case has two different faux leather textures on it. And yeah, it's pretty tacky and gross. The plastic just feels really cheap in the hand, and I thought they could have overall made the footprint a little bit smaller. But it does do its job, and to its credit, it's been pretty hardy. I've taken it on a few domestic flights around Australia, chucking it into my bag, and it's kept the headphones nice and secure, and there's not really any scuffs on it. It also has a circular LED giving you an indication of the charge level too, which is something that you don't see on the Mini. Then opening it is as simple as the push of the top button, and it closes with a satisfying click. Getting the headphones out of the case though is a little awkward since you kind of have to go over the front lid, angling your wrist like a crab. Or of course you could be a normal human being and approach it from the side, but it's the small details, you know? And then you've got the headphones themselves. Now, comparing them with the Minis, the standard ones, there's really not that great deal of a difference between them. They both have very AirPods Pro-like design cues, and there's a cool little triangular flare at the rear housing an LED for connection information, plus some vents to equalize in-ear pressure. Plus, you've got a couple of microphones on the body for noise cancelling, the charging pads, and you'll also notice that there's no proximity sensor, so automatically you'll know there's no auto pause. Both have an IPX4 water resistance rating, so it's going to be perfectly fine for a workout, and they both sit reasonably well in the ears. Plus, they're light enough to be comfortable for exercising in or for long periods of listening. The medium sizes work pretty well for me, but they'll generally be a good fit for anyone who's okay with in-ear style headphones, because they do come with different size tips straight out of the box. Now, speaking of long periods of listening, the Pamu Quiet lasts for 3.5 hours of continuous playback with about 2 extra full charges from the case. So that's about 10.5 hours of battery life, which to be honest, really isn't the greatest out there. And surprisingly, the compact mini version actually gets 4.5 hours of continuous playback and 3 full extra charges from the case thanks to its 500 mAh battery, giving you 18 hours of playback, which is quite a bit better. But still not quite the same as the beast, which is the AirPods Pro with up to 24 hours of listening. But then again, the Mini is magnitudes cheaper compared to the AirPods Pro, and the AirPods Pro aren't magnitudes better in comparison. Now when it comes to actual use, Both have some form of gesture or touch sensitivity on the stalks to perform certain functions. Now both use tap gestures, and then depending on the size you use, they also support single or double taps to play, pause, skip or go back, plus long hold to either trigger Siri or Google Assistant, and also to toggle the transparency mode. It took a few goes to learn just how quick or how hard you needed to press to trigger these actions, and sensitivity was at times a little hit and miss, especially on the normal version. Sadly, there's no volume control option, which is a real bummer, and you're going to have to resort to using your phone or telling Google Assistant or Siri to change that. Now with the Mini, they've actually upped the sensitivity of the touch controls, and that at times can cause a few accidental touches. And again, like the bigger version, there's no volume controls there either. Now both of them can have their functions customized via the Pamu Quiet app, and the app itself is pretty basic, giving you functions like controlling the noise cancelling, showing levels, as well as firmware updates. But most importantly, you can use the app to customize the tap controls, so you can set volume control to a certain gesture. I mean, it makes for a pretty clunky experience compared to some of the smooth swipe gestures you get with things like the Pixel Buds, but at least there is that option, especially since you can't actually easily control volume with the AirPods Pros either, so it's a bit of a moot argument. Now both have some form of Bluetooth 5, with the Mini getting a newer 5.2 protocol, but in either case, the connection has been pretty reliable, and audio delay only really shows up in high-speed gaming, and even then, it's pretty minimal. And in another surprising twist, the Mini actually sports a game mode, which even further reduces latency, something that's missing in the bigger version. And I found the Mini had a much more seamless connection experience, whereas the bigger version often had longer periods of pausing when going from using both earbuds to simply using one. And on that, both use the left earbud as the primary unit to establish the connection. However, once both are paired properly, they can be used independently if you only wanted to use the right earbud, for example. Using it with different devices is a little cumbersome though, meaning you'll have to unpair it first before using it with another gadget like your laptop, for example. So by now, you'd probably be wondering, well, why the hell would I choose to pay more for the bigger version? Because they're looking pretty damn similar right now. And in many cases, the Mini has even more compelling features so far. And it all really comes down to the chip technology used inside. The bigger Pamu Quiet uses a dual chip system from Qualcomm and AMS, which enables aptX streaming for higher fidelity music and audio. Plus, it also gives you more accurate hybrid noise cancelling. The Mini misses out on these chips, and by being able to directly compare the two, there is a noticeable difference, with the bigger Quiet having significantly better audio and noise cancelling quality. This difference is even more obvious if you own an Android phone that supports the aptX codec and you use a music service with a higher streaming bitrate like with Spotify and Tidal. The bass is cleaner, it hits harder, the mids and highs have more clarity, and the soundstage is just bigger compared to the Mini. The Mini sound is comparable in my opinion to the standard AirPods, and for the majority of people, it's going to be more than adequate. In fact, the Mini's bass still hits pretty hard, and that's going to make plenty of people happy. Noise cancelling quality is a bit better in the bigger Quiet. I brought both on plane rides recently, and the bigger Quiet definitely cut out background white noise a little better than the Mini with a cleaner experience. It wasn't like a night and day difference though, and having compared both to the AirPods Pros and even my trusty 1000 XM3s, the bigger version had basically identical performance, if not slightly better noise cancelling than the AirPods Pros. The Mini is just a touch behind, but not by much. So if you definitely need better audio and noise cancelling, then the bigger Pamu Quiet is the clear winner. But overall, both the Pamu Quiet and the Quiet Mini are two very good budget wireless earbuds that pack in active noise cancelling. Now there are many cheap wireless headphones out there, but majority of them have major compromises with them and don't offer active noise cancelling either. And if they do, it's usually not very good, kind of like these TikTok's ANC. But both Pamu Quiets are excellent value for most people. It will work well as either a present for a loved one or even as a gift to reward yourself. Which one you choose is really down to what you prefer. If above all you value sound quality and noise cancelling, then get the standard Quiets. But there are many pros for the Minis. For one, they're cheaper at $99 or 69 at the time of this video, compared to $120 for the standard quiets. The minis have a more reliable Bluetooth connection, it's smaller, plus if you don't mind having just good sound and instead you want good battery life, well then this one, the mini, wins hands down with its bigger battery. Not to mention it's got an extra colorway as well, blue in addition to white and black. Me though, I'd choose the bigger brother only because of the audio and noise cancelling quality. But you might be different, and I think for most people, the mini is the one with the best value. Let me know in the comment section below or hit me up in the socials if you think differently. Maybe you've got another recommendation in mind. Either way, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ding the bell icon so you don't miss out. As always, thanks again for watching. Leave us a comment down there and I'll catch you in the next one. Say good day to mum for me. Cheers.